What I mean to say is that it's going to be a continuous journey to maintain my health and feeling great and having a good kind of gut-mind balance where everything's working in sync together, and I'm eating well and I'm eating the right things, and I'm not causing it too much stress or throwing too many harmful foods, problematic foods or substances into the mix. So yeah, I mean, going back, I was eating plenty of eggs all the time. I was eating dairy, things like that. Lots of dairy, actually, lots of cheese and goat's cheese and feta and things like that. All of these foods that were extremely problematic, high in cholesterol, high in saturated fat, they weren't helping, and I thought they should be. I thought that having all of this food with plentiful vegetables was going to be good, and however it wasn't. The genetically modified animal products and meat and dairy products that I was consuming, full of cholesterol, full of saturated fat, completely ruining my gut microbiome and just feeding the bad bacteria the food they wanted to just evolve and multiply. I wasn't doing the right thing in that sense. Then I tried many other different diets and food plans and things like that. And it got to it actually was only last year, 2019, early 2019, I discovered medical medium. Anthony William is his name, a health guru. He has plenty of books. You should go check them out if you have any similar symptoms to me, or you just want to find out, some really helpful tips on how to heal your gut and heal any disease, heal any illness and prevent illness. He's got loads in there about pretty much every single thing that anyone has ever had. I've learned so much from him about my own illnesses and about others around me as well. He provides loads of information on the plant kingdom and what healing benefits the plants on this earth have for us. So reading through Anthony's books, I ended up doing a 9-day liver cleanse. I reduced my fats by 50% in the first few days, and then completely removed them in the last 6 days. It was amazing. I was eating heaps of fruit and veg, loads of apples, loads of fresh dates, and the one key thing that I took away from that cleanse was celery and celery juice. I was having celery juice every morning on an empty stomach. Celery juice, the minerals in celery, and when you juice them, create hydrochloric acid in the gut, or help promote the growth of hydrochloric acid in the gut. The minerals do. So hydrochloric acid is essential for breaking down fats and proteins and digesting food. So basically, waking up on an empty stomach, having a glass of celery juice, it can be harsh on the stomach when you are as far gone as I was. So to begin with, I was having very small glasses, 200 mils. By the end of it, I was having 600 ml glasses every morning. It changed everything. It flushed me out. My stomach was flat for the rest of the day. All the food I ate was just flowing through smoothly. I was spacing out my meals. I'd completely removed fats for those last 6 days. And then going back to day 7, you slowly reintroduce fats and things like that. But taking away from that, I took away the celery juice cleanse, and I actually adopted that habit for a month or two after. I continued to do that a month or two after, just because I felt so good after doing it. And I could just feel it healing my stomach. Every morning I had that celery juice would set me up for the day. And I learnt and discovered that fruits are incredible. I have never eaten so much fruit that I did in those 9 days, and now. Back in the day, I would be like, I've had an apple today, I'm sweet, or I'd have an apple, 1 banana, maybe, and that was it. Now I'm eating an abundance of fruit. I'm having 6 to 7 serves of fruit a day, and a serve, I mean like a whole piece of fruit. So I'll have like 2 fresh dates, I call that a serve, 1 apple, 2 bananas, kiwi fruit, blah, 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 etc., papaya, things like that. but I never used to eat so much fruit. So fruit is the golden food. Do not be afraid of fruit. Yeah, and I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm not qualified to continue to talk about this kind of thing. But if you would like any more information, I seriously suggest buying some of his books. Medical Medium is his name. He has so much information, and that is where I turned my gut health around, or where the initial turnaround happened for sure. So I guess after the cleanse, I continued to adopt the habits of not eating many fats, and I would eat, the right fats, avocado, nuts and seeds, things like that. I removed coconut oil. I use coconut oil in my cooking sometimes for desserts. However, it is the number one oil that is the most that has the highest saturated fat content. It is highly processed, so maybe great for hair and things like that, and for putting in a mask overnight. Healing dry skin, things like that. I use it for my legs sometimes if my legs are looking really dry. And as I say, I use it in desserts, but I really make a note of trying not to use it too much. Adopting a habit so I basically have just continued learning as much as I can, listening to podcast after podcast. Plant Proof, he's an amazing guy. Simon Hill, highly recommend listening to him. He has loads of different friends and people that he works with as well on his podcasts, listening to all of them as well. Really diving into the plant kingdom and what nutrients and health benefits we can gain from following a plant-based diet, and how it's going to make us feel and all that sort of thing. Live a strong life and help my gut as well. Being diagnosed with MS and then having these gut issues for all of these years, everything's kind of linking up, and I'm just understanding a lot more and accepting the fact that that's what's happened has happened, and how now can I move forward and feel amazing. And just make the most of my life and be happy that I caught the disease early on, and now what can I do to get the most out of my body every single day. Always learning, reading, listening, looking through articles, things like that. Stumbling across loads of different great people out there who are helping me understand a lot more about how the body and the system works. And I guess always loving to cook and create meals in the kitchen. Now it's just like insane. And that's kind of why I've started this Instagram account. I'm always creating meals. I know that some of you know I'm always in the kitchen cooking and sharing things on my personal account anyway, but I want this to just be full of recipe ideas, inspiration for new meals, inspiration for trying out new plants and vegetables and fruits and things like that you may not have ever tried before. And really just having fun in the kitchen and learning how to cook with the food that Mother Nature intended for us. That's how I like to look at it. And now I look down at a bowl, honestly, every single time I eat. I told my mum this the other day. Every time I look down at a bowl and I'm just looking at all the different macro and micronutrients of that bowl, and I'm so excited for what I'm about to put into my body and what it's about to do to my body, how it's going to make me feel, what nutrients I'm getting from that exact ingredient in that bowl, where it came from, the fact that I made it myself, that it didn't come from a jar or a packet. It's really exciting. I absolutely freaking love it. I love cooking. It's a form of meditation for me. When I'm in there, I am so calm, but also so excited because of what I'm creating. If it's going to taste good, if it's going to taste bad. Oh, my hair's gone bad. Sometimes I taste things and I'm like, oh, could have done with a bit more of that, or like that was a bit dry, I left that in the oven for 5 minutes too long. I'm just learning, and I've always loved to cook, and even so much more now. I absolutely love it, and I want to share my recipe ideas and share inspiration with you guys, and especially for people that do suffer from MS and want to feel good and eat well and get the most out of their day. Eat well. Eat good food, eat natural food, avoid the processed crap, avoid the store-bought sauces and things like that. Avoid all of those foods And yeah, and just start going to the markets and just heading to the fruit and vegetable section, getting your staples from the aisles like brown rice and pasta and things like that, and then heading to the fruit and veg section. I went shopping the other day and I, on purpose, I don't know why, my mental state is weird the way I think about things, but I went and did all the grocery shopping around the aisles first and just grabbed kind of like the staple stuff, as I knew I would be excited to get to the fruit and veg section, and I didn't want to squish my fruit and veg underneath all of the other items I was buying. I wanted them to be on top and fresh and not squished, as I knew I was going to be buying an abundance of them as well. So I then went to the fruit and veg section and just went mayhem, just like everything. Was looking at vegetables that I haven't even used before, like, what's that? Yeah, right, I'll grab that. I love it. I love it so much. And don't get me wrong, I still treat myself to things like hot chips on occasion, because girls gotta have hot chips, oh my god, yum. And a glass of wine here and there, like a tap beer or an organic cider, something like that. But I need to be careful, because I feel it. Like if I have too much to drink, my stomach will be off. I will feel terrible the next day. My stomach will feel, my stools will be weird. I'll have abdominal pain. My skin will break out. I get really bad hives. Like I had one glass of wine maybe a month ago, and I think, I must have and then I think I had a second one or something. Anyway, and I started getting itchy everywhere, hives and things like that. I mean, that's just a sensitivity of mine. Other people have stronger systems than me, stronger skin than me, things like that. And those sorts of things don't upset them. But for people that are similar to me and it does upset them, I'm with ya. It sucks. But I keep burping. I'm so sorry. Gross. No, I've just completely lost my train of thought. How embarrassing. That's where I was going with that. I know now what I can handle, what my gut can handle. I treat my meals with respect. I treat my gut with respect. What I put in, I know is going to make me feel good. If I, go and have hot chips, have a glass of wine, have a few ciders with friends, that's fine. My mental state is, completely optimized, and it's healthy and it's relaxed, and I'm not afraid about what I'm about to eat, because I have strengthened my stomach to be able to handle those foods now without feeling crappy afterwards, unless I have too much. So I do have to be careful. So I guess that was a shit ton of talking. In summary of this, basically the reason I wanted to start this account was to share recipe ideas, inspiration for good cooking, using plants only, the food that Mother Nature intended for us, and on top of that, avoiding chronic illness and disease, and just horrific side effects, feeling like crap and tired and things like that when we don't need to. We have complete accessibility. The majority of us do have complete accessibility to healthy food and plants, fruit and vegetables. We can get it, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Most of my recipes, if not all of my recipes, are significantly cheaper than going out and buying like a really expensive steak or something like that and treating yourself. Everything I make from scratch, and it is incredibly tasty, wholesome, filling, and I just want to share that with you. On top of that, I also want to share, all of the macro and micronutrients we can gain from plants, the vitamins and minerals that we can get straight from the plant kingdom rather than from the meat and dairy industry. Avoiding those genetically modified